everyone. I hope you had a great summer. It's nice to be back. We start on a high note because my guest is Vanessa Bruno tonight. I'm very excited. I think she will be here in a second. In the meantime, I'd like to share... Bonjour Kevin. Hi everyone. Welcome back. I'm very blessed because there's a new hotel in Paris called So Paris, and they offered me to host Sunday Night Live from the hotel. So I'm in this beautiful suite. I'll show you. Vanessa, I think you need to send me a request. Hi Damien. Bonjour Valérie. Kevin already has questions. So Vanessa Bruno created her brand 25 years ago when she was in her 20s. I think she doesn't need much of an introduction because she's such a well-known name. So I'm very excited to have Vanessa as a guest. Oh, I see she's here. Thank you, Valérie. Good to see you. Hello, Vanessa.
Hi.
Thank you. Welcome to Sunday Night Live.
Yeah, thank you to you.
As
I'm very sorry, I'm so bad with the connection. I had a wonderful assistant called Jeremy who actually helped me. Nice of him.
Thank you, Jeremy. And thank you for making time because I know you went to the flea market today. You came back just for Sunday Night Live. That's very kind of you.
Well, it was nice. It's nice to go in the morning anyway, the free market. Have lunch there, hang with your friends.
Is it your typical Sunday to go to the flea market?
Yeah, when I'm in Paris, that's one of them. I even like them in winter. I like them any time. There's always beautiful things to see. I don't know. It's my moment of relaxing.
Did you buy anything today?
I was just to buy 6 pairs of chairs, and I said, what am I going to do with them? I have already 6 chairs at home. So no, I thought, I might get them and put them in differently in my stores. So yeah. So at the end, I didn't buy it.
Excuse, right? That's great to have stores because it's a great excuse to buy things, right?
Of course, and I like to have in my stores things who looks, who has an environment. It's not about just the concept, but also has beautiful things inside who looks exceptional. It's a mix, like I try to do it homely, like it looks like my home. So yeah.
Yeah, I heard you said you don't want a store that's too impressive, that's too design. You want it to be very warm and homely.
Well, in another hand, we have a new architect designing the whole concept of the stores, a French designer called Emmanuelle Simon. She's a young architect, and we're just opening in a month the new store in Lyon. And I have inside this concept, I want to have beautiful pieces that actually I found just to make it more alive and have something more special with a real sensibility that doesn't look all the same. That's important.
Actually, I'm very interested in the stores, but let's go back to the stores later. I'm also interested in the beginnings. I know you were a model in Paris.
Well, not really known, just passing by. Earning a little bit money from there and there, that's all.
Can you tell us a little bit about this period of your life?
No, I just think the only interesting thing about this period was that I learned actually by being a model in a studio and being nearby the pattern maker, because I was waiting while the patterns and the we say in French, the toile, I don't know how you say in English, was ready, and I was supposed to be there and try them. And I did that for a brand called Dorothée Bis at that time. And I was 15. So every time I had a little bit of time during the, the week or even during my vacation, they would take me. And this is how I learned a lot about the design of the pattern maker, looking at them, how they would do it. And I did this for many years. And then, of course, I did a little bit of modeling of photos and a bit of modeling of shows. who was the beginning of the shows, you know. So that's all. But I stopped very soon. I didn't have the patience.
But you modeled with Inès de la Fressange at some point.
Yeah, Inès, Inès, in a funny way, Inès, that, you know, along my way, we met a few times and so on. I always remember the first show I did. I was so impressed, and Inès was such a goddess and so on. And I was just behind her. And I always remember this moment when she got out and the stunning thing she got. When the model is stunning, it's like, yes. That's why I'm sorry, guys, I didn't get a carrier. I stopped it. After seeing Inès, I was like, no, you can't go there.
That's harsh, but but you moved to design at some point.
Yeah, I started immediately. I always worked in fashion. I think, you know, I was passionate about it. I did so many different little jobs. I never did a school because I don't know, I needed to work. I think I had the energy to work, and I did so many different little jobs, but they were all around fashion, from you know, designing collection for little brands, designing, doing also market research, from selling, from modeling, from searching fabrics or things like this. I did so many different things.
Mm-hmm. And how did you start your brand?
I started my brand, and I was working at that time in the studio for a brand called Daniel Richter.
Mm-hmm.
And
oh, I remember Daniel Richter.
Yeah.
From my childhood.
And actually, I was very lucky. I was very young, and they took me as how do you say? Yeah, I was responsible of the studio.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and what happened was that I liked to work with them and so on, but I was passionate about doing my own brand, so I started in the weekends making my own collection. But I did a very small little collection, and I started what we call a salon. At that time, there was a salon where the designer could show what they were doing, and I think I showed
the trade shows, right?
Yeah, and I had very little money, and I had a very little space. It was like so little, like it was like a placard. Comment tu dis un placard?
A closet.
A closet. Yeah, it was like a closet, and I had very few clothes. But what happened? I had the Japanese at that time. They were really looking for French style designing, and they loved it. So my first customer were actually the Japanese. And they helped because by buying my stuff, I said, but I have no money to produce it. So they said, okay, we're going to send you the money in advance. You produce it and you send us the clothes. That's how I did it.
Wow. And the Japanese have been very loyal to the brand, right?
Very loyal from the beginning, yeah. And actually, when I started the brand, my first store in Saint-Germain, who's still there, Rue Saint-Sulpice, was actually financed by those Japanese who, you know, helped me grow in Japan, who now we're not partner anymore, but they were a small group. And they're, you know, they said, oh, you need to have a store in Paris, we'll finance it. You know, things went like that.
Perfect.
So I was kind of blessed. Things, you know, was unexpected, and I kind of bound to people who I met, who helped me, and it worked, and I went to another step and another step.
We have a few questions already, and by the way, if you have any questions, if our friends here have any questions, feel free to put them in comments. So one of them, do you plan on doing menswear?
I don't. I think by doing right now I don't have the energy. It's not that I don't like it. I love, actually, in the way I look at wardrobes, I love menswear. You know, I love the tailoring. I love the way it's cut. I love the outwear. But I won't. I think I will be more keen in doing for kids.
So is that something in the pipes for kids?
we'll see, but I love kids. I think this is something I could see would be more something in the link in what I'm doing. And I love lifestyle. So anything around the house, you know, that's what we were saying just before.
Back to the flea market.
Yeah, the market. I love to do this at one point. We'll see.
Let's go back to your path. I'm sorry, I'm going, we'll maybe save the questions for the end. So you have these Japanese people who help you open your first store, and then what? You were the salesperson in the store, right? In the beginning.
Yeah, yeah. Well, what I mean is, I started my really first store. I started, it was not the Japanese, that was a little bit later. But the first store, I was in a Marais. I'm sorry, I'm skipping a part of my life. It's a long time ago. And it was in the Marais, and I had a very small store. I was with a friend of mine. We were the same age. We were about 24, and we took this store. He helped me because he had the possibility financially to help me. And yeah, I had a pattern maker behind the store. So we were the two of us. So I was there designing collection, the pattern maker. I was taking in my car the fabrics, driving around Paris, bringing to the guy who would sew it, bringing it back to my store. And I did that. And then I have my friend Isabelle Marron, who was also starting. And I said, bring your stuff, you know, we'll sell it in my store. So yeah, we were young. We were in our
good spirit.
Huh?
Good spirit.
Yeah, of course, good spirit. But this is how I'm sure the spirit of the young generation is the same.
And then you opened with the Japanese.
Yeah, that was a little bit later when I started to do 1-2 shows. And after a few shows, you know, one of those partners was doing really well with my clothes. They said, we want to open a store in Japan, but we think it should be good you open also a store. Because, of course, I wasn't able to create and to do a whole collection for a store. I needed to have, you know, this is where they asked me to do a bag. And this is where I came with the kaba, because I was just a young mom. And I was always with my bike around Paris, and I had a big basket because basket is easy on the bike is easy to put anything on it. And I was like, okay, if I do a bag, I need to do a tote bag, and this is how it came. So actually,
it was to coincide with the opening of the store. It was
exactly. It was with the opening of the store. It was in 2000. Can you imagine?
Can you tell us about the kaba? And because it had many iterations, many versions of it. Now there's a wide collection of kaba.
Yeah, it's been so long out there. It's amazing. You know, you know, how can I thought that this idea I had as a young mom, where I wanted to bring, you know, because the tote bag, I found the fabric was made out of the l'étoile à bateau, comment on dit?
Sheep.
Sails ships. Yeah. And it's very strong and heavy, and for the rain and everything.
So very resistant.
I mixed it with the paillettes. So it comes from Bretagne, Brittany.
Yeah.
And the paillette comes from the north of France. And I produce actually today with the same person. I started this little atelier who was in Paris. It's nearby. It's just nearby. It's in the 11, and it's the same guy who's been producing for me. We just grow the business together.
Wow,
So
for 22 years.
Full story. And we've been together since the beginning. He was like very small, and then he got bigger with the years.
I guess it's like a rock star who has a hit. And are you sometimes tired of it, or you're still feeling blessed that it's such a success and it still resonates with the customer?
I'm not tired of it. It's so exciting.
Never.
And as people know my brand, I did so many different versions, you know. It's like a painted canvas for me. It's not just like the tote bag made out of a canvas. It's made out of
right, it's a blank canvas.
But it's made out of felted in winter. It's made out of the raffia that I love, handmade, you know, in summer, like a real basket. It's beautiful and handmade. So for me, the challenge is always to think, how I'm gonna make it new, you know, thinking
Mm-hmm.
about the collection and the color, how it's gonna work and everything. No, I love it.
What's the most popular version these days?
I'm sorry, guys. It's still the black one with the black sequins. Black.
Wow. That's
I
been
promise. It's like, yeah,
really?
really. You know, no, this it's been the hit bag since the, you know, if the woman can see it in so many color, but at the end, if you ask me what's the hit color, it's the black.
Mhm. What have been
Timeless.
the what have been the challenging moments in your career, and how you because you're such a role model in terms of longevity in the industry,
Yeah,
um,
it is the right
but
word.
I'm sure it was not always smooth and always so what were the challenging moments?
Well, the challenge is first is to be still desirable after so many years,
Hmm.
and also the challenge is make feel people that your brand is still you know in their mood and also in the actuality, but also in their lifestyle.
Hmm.
So the challenge is that. And so for me is to create collection every season and to make this alive, because you know the world of fashion is very much about what is really, oh, what is the new thing, the new thing. World of fashion is about what is new,
Hmm.
not about and so when you have people who've been following you for so long, or new people discovering you, you know, there's a generation who discovered me through the bags. They were having the bags because many people know that my bags were popular in high school, but it was not only the high school people wearing my bags. You had a lot of different women wearing this bag
Right.
all around their life, you know, from lawyers to, I don't know, a housewife to woman, the different, whatever, even different age. So I mean, what was the challenge is actually still to be a brand out there who is actually desirable, and women still continue to wear it, and young generation coming back. And I think I have that because I try to do, I always say I do easy clothes for difficult women. Meaning, no, it's
Meaning.
true. Meaning they want to be themselves. They want to feel modern and confident about what they're wearing. They want to have something in their wardrobe that where they don't feel they throw it every season, but there's something, you know, oh, I'm going to wear this again. And I feel I love this jacket, or I love this shirt. I can wear it again and again. And I think if out of everything, this is what people comes to me and they say, oh, I just love this piece. I keep wearing it. I just love it. That's why I always come back to you, because there's something about your clothes. When I have them, I feel confident and I still can wear them.
Mm. And you manage that. You said it's an industry based on novelty, and you stopped fashion shows. So you stopped bringing the essence of newness.
No, because I felt in what moment fashion show was great, because it's comme we say in en français, un exercice de style. A
Hmm.
style exercise is very interesting because you have to say in a very little time, 10 minutes, on, you know, 20 models, 35 comment on dit, go and in, and then you have to have a very quick message. So I
Hmm.
love to do this. It was strong, it was fascinating, but at the same time I was getting away from my client, because actually my client, I was realizing that I was putting so much energy into the show and maybe less energy in really looking what they were looking for. And I love the idea to sublime the everyday life through the garments, what you're wearing, you know, having a great jacket mixing with this cool pants that you wear, this pair of jeans, of the beautiful shirt. Of course, you need to twist it every time, every season. You have to make it the magic come. Because
Hmm.
if there's no magic, it's boring, you know. So the magic is all about how I'm going to tell a new story. What's the new shape I want to bring out there? What is the new volume of a sleeve? Of how she can style it with what she already have, or what I proposed to her before. Well, as I said, you know, it's true. My looks is very like the French, Parisian, boho, cool, chic, allure woman. That's what it is about.
Can you show us your your shirt? By the way, I'm very curious.
I don't know. Can you
because
see
it's
me?
a shape that's typical
Yeah,
Vanessa Bruno, right?
yeah. There's
It's
a lot of pleat. I don't know if you can see.
mm-hmm. Oh
Just
yeah.
like there's a lot of pleat. I love it because it has a beautiful color and it's stripe and I don't know. I'm
And
so
you know
excited.
mine, right? I love it.
Yeah, you're having also a beautiful because this is what I
The
was saying
color.
about more androgyne shapes. That's also a masculine oversized shape, but I pop it in a beautiful pink, you know, so it makes it a little bit more special.
Right, you have this combination of you like androgyne but also feminine. It's
Yeah, of course.
something that's
And
very
sensuality.
that's your signature, I would say.
Yeah, and sensuality, very important.
Mm-hmm.
I think the woman who likes my dresses, they can really find beautiful dress, beautiful shirts. There's something about the freedom of your body, comfort, but sensuality is very important for me, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you know, I have some, comment on dit, code. I don't say code in English, but
Yeah, I think codes, but
yeah, who keep
mm-hmm.
coming in and out in the collection where they're, you know, they bring the spirit of the collection. And you know, I was today with friends and one of my friends got a dress she had 4 years ago and I was looking at it. I was like, oh, you have this one, I love it. And she said, yeah, I love it. Every time I put it I feel so good, you know. It's easy but it has a bit of an embroidery there because I always love the, you know, the laces, the embroidery, how I can put it into my clothes, or I like it sharp, clean.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a
This
mix of
is
both,
the
like
sharp
what you're
version.
wearing. Yeah.
Yeah. So these are the different codes. And in terms of bags, because now you have a wide range of handbags.
Yeah, yeah, again, I think I have a good hands for the bags, as we say. Because I like bags to be at the same time, again, this idea, there's an easiness into it. They feel très évident, not too heavy. I don't understand
Mm-hmm.
the woman who has those bags heavy, like your arms is falling down. I like my bags to be, I always think about that, you know, in the life when you go, you take your car or you go in the metro or whatever, you want to have things that are easy to carry, easy to go. That's why I did the Kaba. And I think
Mm-hmm.
the success I have now, the Moon bag, was also a very nice success because I was always trying to find a small bag that you could carry in a beautiful way, but it's a bit, you know, it's easy, it has a good shape. And again, I did it like in linen, the linen that I use also for the kaba. So you have it also made out of it. It's a bit puffed,
Mm-hmm.
matelassé, as we say. Has a beautiful lock. I have
Mm-hmm.
this one, I have the hobo, I have all these things also I try to do with the rope. I think la corde is like, the rope is like la corde.
I think so. Yeah.
And it's like the rope, it's made, you know, again, like the boats, the rope. It has something really strong and organic, but you have it something very easy to go with the bags. So yeah, this is all this little thing I'm putting into the collection.
Something very light. You make it quite light for
It
women.
seems at the same time light,
Mm-hmm.
luxurious, but in a cool way, not
Right.
in a stiff way, you know,
Mm-hmm.
not in a stiff and heavy way, more like in a soft and cool way, but still with luxury detail.
Mm-hmm. I see. How do you use Instagram and what's your view on social media?
You mean
Because
me? Me?
you have such a big following, obviously, and many fans here.
Oh, really?
Is it
Oh, thank you.
is it something
Thank you
that's
for everybody
appeals?
who's there today. Thank you, guys.
Yes,
Happy.
for a Sunday back to school. I was a bit nervous, I have to say, because it's my first live since after the summer break, and I was like, wow. And it's such a honor to have you, of
No,
course.
but please. No, I don't know how can I say. I think people know that I'm not online all the time. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to show more of my clothes or my collection, but I know people want to know more about.
About you.
Yeah, and also about I would say how I made this, what's the world around it, you know, the people I work with, my office, how do I develop my collection. So this is going to be another part where I'm going to open myself to it and open also the people who likes the brand and show a little bit more. I understand the new generation. I'm also part of this generation, looking at it and being interested when I like people and I want to know more about them. It's just this little limit between knowing more about you and not going too personal.
Right, it's a fine balance.
It's a fine limit.
Oh, yeah. But you like it. It's quite playful when you start, I guess.
No, I like it. It's fine. You know, today to be with you, I'm okay. It's cool.
And are you interested in all the topics about the metaverse and NFTs and Web3, all this?
Honestly,
no. Okay. I like to understand first.
I'm like super, you know,
into it. Okay, you don't collect NFTs.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Sorry.
You prefer the flea market. I get it. And another question I have is your balance. I know it sounds cliche, and I try not to ask this question, especially to women, because it's too cliche, I think. How do you juggle between family and work? But I'm still going to ask it to you. And I know that I was lucky enough to come and have dinner at your place, and it was wonderful. And you told us about your yoga. I think you practice a lot of yoga, and you're very healthy.
Sure, you were. I'm not that great with that.
We still had wine, I think, but
yeah, we still had wine. No, I told you I like to do Pilates. I'm not good in yoga.
Oh, okay.
Pilates.
But you told me.
And I'm a good swimmer. I'm a good swimmer. Actually, this is swimming. I'm a good swimmer. Well, you know, I worked a lot. I must say, out of anything, people know me, and I'm a big worker. I worked since I started my brand. I worked so much. If you ask me if I was able to redo it again, I would say no way. You know, I was totally unconscious when I was doing what I was doing. And also, I never project myself to be where I am now. And I never really I'm incapable of projecting myself. Like, well, where will you be in 5 years or things like this, you know? Now more, because I'm maybe by the end of my story. So now I'm a bit more concentrate on projecting myself and really getting where I want to go and how, because I have so much experience. And you were just asking me before, how did it go all this time? And it was not all the time an easy road. You know, I had bumping and I had problems financially, find money, you know. It was not always easy.
Right. So, you're persistent for sure.
I'm persistent.
Yeah.
You know, my quote is always, nothing is impossible.
So you have this, it's American mindset. I like that. That's when you're an entrepreneur, you need that mindset.
Yeah, right. You're right. Exactly. I definitely have these things where I don't let it go before I feel did we find all the possibility and you know the reason why we should stop or anything. But you have to know how to let it go. And actually what you have to know is to appreciate what you have. So it's better to be small in your place than to be big and lost out there.
Well, now I remember what you told us at the dinner. Sorry, came back. You like fasting. You do fasting retreats.
I like, yeah, right.
Wow.
I do. I take once in a while. I go by myself, please, because I don't want to be with people talking and so on. And I just I empty my mind. I empty everything, and I go for a retreat. Yeah.
Wow.
Very
often. Like
that's something I learned.
Wow. So that's helpful.
It is because when you bring so much energy out there, you have to step behind and I love nature. Nature for me is where I get back and connected. You know, nature is so important. So if you ask me when I'm not in Paris, I go out there and I go and walk. I love walking. I can walk for hours without any problems.
And
And
biking, obviously.
yeah.
You've been a pioneer in bicycling around Paris.
Oh yeah, I know Paris by heart. You know, that's why people, when they say to me, "Oh, it's far away," that I'm like, "Oh, come on, guys! It's like take your bike. It's 20 minutes from here. No problem."
Before we say goodbye, because I see it's already 6:30, it goes too fast. Also, I wanted to show you because I'm very lucky. I was invited by this hotel, So Paris, that's opening on Tuesday. It's in soft
Okay.
opening
Show it,
mode.
show this to us, please.
And yes, I'll show you this street. That's wonderful. I'm very
Okay.
lucky.
So,
Can you see? So,
yeah. Oh, it's in wood. It looks like a little bit of a Japanese place, no?
so you can tell us what you think of the decor.
I like the background with the wooden. It looks a bit
Yeah.
Japanese. Yeah.
But I'll show you the view above all.
Okay.
That's really beautiful. Can you see?
Where is it about?
So
where
it's near la Garde Républicaine.
Ah wait, it's in the 7?
In the fourth, near Bastille.
Okay.
Do you see? There's a place de la
near
Bastille.
Bastille.
Yeah.
Ah, this is where the guys have the horses and everything. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, good. Yeah, it looks like a Japanese place, all in wooded and so on. It looks nice.
Really nice.
What's the name of the hotel, you say?
It's called So Paris.
So Paris, okay.
And I think there will be many events during Paris Fashion Week here.
Okay, I will have a look. No,
well,
you always have friends coming, foreigner people. You always need to give them tips of nice place,
Do you have tips for us? Some of your favorite places in Paris?
I have to give you one, but I'm sure a lot of people know it. I'm very lucky. I live in the third. And there is a market in the third, in the center of the third, called Le Marché des Enfants Rouges, who's actually one of the oldest market of Paris, meaning centuries before. And this place now has different, there's a friend of mine called Rose, who has a beautiful restaurant there, outdoor. It's a Thai restaurant, but then there's another friend also who's called the Butcher of Paris, doing amazing meat for people who like it. It only comes from élevage, comment tu dis élevage? People,
breed,
of really good meat, and they have natural wine. So if you want to feel Paris and feel the vibe and the hectic in a cool way, go to the Marché des Enfants Rouges.
I only know the couscous place in Marché des Enfants Rouges.
Yeah, sure, but there's other places, and the couscous is really nice too.
Yeah, it's good. So your friend is Rose.
Also Heiko, who's the Japanese woman. There's also the restaurant called Le Marché des Enfants Rouges. It's very nice too. Really good food. It's a Japanese cooker behind. No, I mean, so it's all open. You see what I mean? And you can buy there if you, there's a, you can buy if you have a place where you want to do your cooking, you can buy everything over there.
And then you can go to the Vanessa Bruno store on Rue Vieille du Temple.
Yes, please.
That's where I went for this shirt that I love.
Exactly, it's next door.
Well, thank you so much. It was wonderful. It was the best back to school I could dream of.
Most welcome.
I hope to see you soon, and thank you everyone for joining us tonight.
Thank you, everyone. Very nice being followed.
Thank you. And I saw my friends Francesco and Marie-Louise. Marie-Louise is the owner of Il Pelicano Hotel.
Okay.
Yes, and she's a former Sunday Night Live guest. And her hotel is, speaking of hotel, that's amazing.
Exactly, it is. Absolutely. Beautiful place.
Merci, Valérie. Okay, thank you, everyone. Have a beautiful week. And see you next week.
Okay. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye. Ciao.
Au revoir.
Au revoir. Merci encore.